Hey everyone, how's it going out there?
Hola, mi amigos.
Hey, everybody. I
All
forget
right,
who's homesteading in Idaho. That's Audra's, right?
that's Audra. All righty, so before we really get into it, go ahead and say hi to everybody here. First one in, and he gets the special award because he fired out and made a comment almost an hour and a half, over an hour and a half ago when I first posted it. That was the Kraken. And then, of course, Uncle made a comment, and then we got Courtney in next. Then Kaylin Strain. She just had a real good MRE video. Brain dead here. And which,
And Dave's
guys,
down there.
which is something else I forgot to put included in this. If you have like MREs where it's got all its cooking pouches and you got enough, hey, you can cook in a disaster with an MRE. All right, down here,
Hey,
Michael
Courtney.
58.
Courtney, if you see me, you are having mental delusional episode. And if that is the case, you need to go seek medical attention immediately.
All right, Audra homesteading in Idaho.
Then we got Built on the Rock.
Blue Healers here, built on the Rock Homestead. Okay, so guys, my main thought for this was because of what's going on with the winter storms and stuff already, and we're just 2 weeks into winter. So that's one of the things that brought this to the forefront. So I don't have everything on here I wanted to have on here because I was busy. Actually, when I was trying to put the slide together, I had 3 grandsons up here crawling on me, trying to play with the keyboard and all the other fun stuff. So
Sure,
we
grandkids. We know what actually.
I was slightly distracted by all the cuteness and all the hugs. So, okay, let's see. Built on the Rocks has a hunter stove, runs on propane. Okay. All right. So let's take at the end. We're gonna at the very end. We're before we sign out, we're gonna be going over weather and forecast covering possible stuff coming up. So keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and take a look-see here at some of the stuff here. Come on. Let's go. There we go. And so thinking about winter storms and stuff, hey, no power. I know this is a lot more of a problem back east than it is for California with the snowstorms and the ice rain and stuff bringing down power poles. But California has its own faults too, and we'll touch on that as well here in a second.
It's got a hell of a governor.
Yeah. Construction can take out your gas accidentally.
It could be dozer. Trust me, guys. Just because he had that one of those at his place, that's not actually guilt in the dozer. I promise.
Yeah. Actually, what's funny is speaking of this, my brother and I were working for a construction company called W&W Construction back when we were barely into our 20s, and they had a new operator on there. It's all one of those all braggart stuff got on there, started digging, and one of the other operators was spotting for him, doing it with the probe, checking for a gas line because we knew we were going across the gas line. He goes, "Get out of there! I can feel it." And he's digging like, "There ain't nothing here." Rip. He didn't feel it, and he ripped out a 1.5-inch copper gas line, cut it. Yikes. And everybody goes running. My brother grabs 2 4-pound sledgehammers, jumps in the ditch, bam, 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 bend over and pound it off that copper pipe real quick, seal the gas leak like that. It was funny to watch all these guys hiding, and Jeff just jumps in the ditch, and I'm there just, okay, all right, yeah, all right, we're good. But yeah, gas construction guys invariably now and then rip out gas lines. Now, besides construction doing it, gas line failures can be a big problem. Uncle Al, you remember about what 15 years ago up there on the peninsula?
Right.
Lost the name of the town up there by oh shoot! But anyway, that PG gas line blew and it took out a block and a half.
Right. Was it San Mateo?
Up
Or
north,
the-
it was near San Mateo, a little bit north of San Mateo, but yeah, it took out a block and a half. When
I
that-
know my aunt's house was there. It
It-
just disintegrated the house.
Yeah,
because
it was leaking because basically in California, when they put down a gas line, they go cover around it with sand, and evidently something had during all the earthquakes and something had pinched the line or something, had a slight leak, and all that sand had filled up with gas, and when it finally ignited, it would like boom, blew it all up. So gas lines can cause gas explosions, gas line failures, constructions can cause gas lines to fail, but here we go, California. Oh, no power and no gas. Earthquakes.
or
No.
nuisance.
Yeah, no, yeah. But we're talking semi-natural disasters here right now. So, earthquakes, can take out both power poles and natural gas lines, sewer, water, everything else. And so, what is the earthquake zone for the United States?
Well, technically, if you want to include the New Madrid fault, everywhere.
Everywhere, from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. They've had
There's a fault
earthquakes
line
in
across
New York.
New Jersey. There's a fault line virtually in most every state.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of them are just quite dormant.
Exactly. So, guys, just because you say, "Oh, well, I'm not in California or I'm not in Alaska," hey, there are earthquakes everywhere. Go ahead and check USGS and check it out.
Forget USGS. Go check out Dutch Sense.
Yeah.
He's a YouTube channel. That's all he does is earthquake stuff, as well as suspicious observers.
Yeah, that's why because that's why I stopped doing my earthquake updates, because there's too many out there. That's all they're doing is earthquake. So, but anyways, yeah. So there's that one. Oh, did I go too fast? There we go. Let's get it going. There we go. Boom.
And drops.
Now those that say I got firewood. Well, I know. Drops Family Garden is in the house. Hey, how you doing? See, did I miss anybody else really quick here? The Autistic Prepper. How you doing? And who else did I miss here? Scrolling back here. I think I got everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, for those who are wondering about the YouTube channel I was talking about, Drops put the name of it in there for you.
Cool. Thank you, Drops. All right, so anybody that watches the Bouchard Homestead with Brett and Amy and Abby, and how they went through the several hurricanes they went through this year, and how wet they got, and how much damage. So, hey, wet firewood. You may have your firewood all set up, and if you have wood, we have a rainstorm coming in where the rain's coming in at near horizontal and coming underneath the shelter and just soaking it, or the area where your firewood's at is a little bit lower than the house, and it floods out. You can wind up with, hey, speaking of this, there's Brett right there. And so, you got to watch out for, you could have your firewood go floating away, or worse yet, you can have firewood thieves come in and steal it. If you had to evacuate your area and you're coming back to your house and you're looking around, hey, where's all our firewood?
Hello, Mary Beth.
Hey, Mary Beth Smith's in the house. Now, there we go. If you're on propane, not natural gas, hey, winter storms can affect you too. You get a flood come through, and it could, or a tree blowing down against the tank, breaking the valves off the top, whatever. You could lose.
Or if you live in Florida, one of the biggest concerns most Floridians have, especially in the southern part of the state, sinkholes.
Yeah. Yeah. You could have you could see your propane tank floating away. Yeah, I noticed this guy here took a bunch of looks like he took garden hoses, ropes, and everything else, trying to tie it to keep it from floating out into the river. So what are you going to do if your normal cooking is no longer available? Hey guys, camping. Do you have your electric stove or your gas stove up when you go camping? No. And of course, there is the ever popular, low end of the scale, tried and true, solid as a rock. I don't know what else to call it. Your single burner Coleman stove. Oh, Michael 58. Okay, Michael. All right. You have your charcoal, but hey, guess what? Your charcoal's all wet too because the water went 6 inches into the garage and soaked all your charcoal. I'm just poking fun at Michael right now. Okay, now we're going to go to something old school here. This is a single burner white gas stove, which is actually, they call it white gas, but actually most of them are multi-fuel. You can use white gas, denatured alcohol, diesel fuel, kerosene. There are a couple of little things on the list that I had that I forgot to put into the slideshow, but so there's a bunch of fuels that you can actually use, and there are several channels out there that's what they do. They run all the different fuels through these stoves and tell you how they work, what works best, what doesn't. Then you have your dual fuel, your 2-burner one. Now it says dual fuel, but it's actually, like I said, it can take more fuels than just 2. Your 3-burner. And I didn't find a picture of a 4-burner, but Dave said his dad had a 4-burner when he was growing up.
Back in the early 70s.
Yeah. So you got your, you can buy your fuel for these in 1-gallon cans or 5-gallon cans. Then you have your backpack.
Martha came in.
Hey, Martha. Then you have your backpackers version of the Coleman dual fuel stoves. And then the high altitude backpackers version. If you've never lit a white gas stove before, generally I've seen most people get really, their first time ones lighting it, they're really nervous because they've seen a little flare. It's normal. Don't worry about it. And that's why they have these nice new lighters that are really long. You can stick out there and your hand gets nowhere near it, and it's easy to do.
Poof is good.
Rather than using a wooden match.
And high gray, I can't see the numbers. 1107.
All right. Oh, thank you, Brett, for sharing the video. So, yeah, this is, it's really, these are really safe. They've been around since before I was born, and I was born in 1957. All right. So these are safe. So long as you don't do something stupid and act like an entitled person. Oh, I can just sit here and we're fine. You got to use some common sense. Some. Now you go on to more modern versions of the Coleman. We have your 2-burner propane stove. I don't think there's a family out there that has done any camping that doesn't have one of these.
I don't.
Or had one.
My nephews have mine, so
yeah.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah. And besides the little 2-burner, you can also get from Camp Chef and other manufacturers, the big monster ones that are both 2-burner and 3-burner. I got both. I love my 3-burner Expedition. Come on, let's go. There we go. And Camp Chef, I love Camp Chef products. Sorry guys, I don't have any stake in the company, but they do good quality stuff. I love them. They got this propane 2-burner stove with an oven on it, so you can actually do your biscuits and stuff, when you're out camping. And next one. Now, I talked about on one of my other live streams, my wife got me one of these for Christmas one year. Thanks, Drops, for sharing out the video as well. At first, when she first got it to me, I was like, what is this thing? Until I actually went ahead and used it. I love this little baby. When it packs away, the grate here flips around upside down, goes down on it. And so it takes up less space. I recommend you do not store the canister inside. And
That's not a good idea, folks.
yeah,
You can, because there is the lever will actually disconnect it from the valve. You can store it in there,
yeah,
but you don't want to jostle it.
yeah. I'm a nervous ninny about doing that.
I'm not.
But because hey, I work with a bunch of scouts, and then, the way they toss the scout box around and stuff, and the stove and everything bounces around. Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah. So your canister goes in there and locks in place, and there's the locking lever right there, locks it in place. So it's a real cool, safe design. Comes in like a little, it's on like a little mini briefcase, and that's something great. You can just keep it in your closet, and it gives you a stove. Then there's all these other ones that are name brand. Some of these are name brand, like the Jet Boil, which is and the MSR. But there are also off-brand ones of these little backpacking stoves. And Uncle Al's holding up. Hang on a second here. Uncle Al's holding up one of those little miniature one there. It's got a tight fit on to keep it watertight. So, and that just screws onto one of those little canisters. And it spins around and opens up. Yeah, see, it opens up like that. And that one actually has a piezo lighter on it, so you don't need a match or anything. All right. And those just screw on to the top of one of these canisters, and they're good to go. Hang on, I'm going to check today. I'm just looking at comments.
Why do that?
Yeah, Courtney, I've cooked on both. I prefer gas over electric, and so do most professional chefs, because I grew up around professional chefs, because it has so much more. You can just control it so much more gently, and it's great. Keto Homestead with Jess. Hey, how you doing? So, but right now, this is an alcohol burner. I've got actually I got two of them, just to have them, just for hey, who knows, whatever. But I haven't had much luck cooking with them as far as getting it to work really good. I've only tried a couple times, so practice makes perfect, folks.
Well, I will say one thing about those, and I have one. They sell windshields, multiple paneled windshields. With that kind right there, you actually need those, because I have to have almost zero draft at all near those, or it will blow them out, or it'll cause the Venturis not to function properly. So if you have one of those, make sure you have a way to shield the wind away from it, and it'll work okay. I personally don't care for them either, and I've got one.
Yeah.
And I have one with mines, because I'm sending one to Harshman Hills after 4 blew up.
Yeah. And these are, like I said, I have them. This is my backup to my backup to my backup to my backup. 1 is none, 2 is 1, 4 is fun. All right. So alcohol burners. And here's a more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Unique.
More elaborate design one. That has your storage over here for your alcohol, and it goes through and runs through the heat chamber in there, and has the way it runs around and stuff. So, and it's this one, so it's advertised as all brass and stainless steel. So, and then here's another one. It's all stainless steel. Has a little drop on for your pot to sit on, or your coffee. Now, I pulled this one off from another channel. I can't remember the guy's name. I just Googled alcohol stoves, and it was up there. And the caption for this was from his video of about why he says no to DIY alcohol stoves. And you can see the way some of these are burning. They're not burning all the same. If you get like Dave was talking about beforehand, we were meeting before we started the live. If you don't get these holes just right, you get funky flames coming out, or really bad flames, or too high of a flame. So these are some kind called penny stoves. there's really no control on them. So it's nice to be able to know how to make one in an emergency, but I wouldn't count on it for stuff.
Get some soup cans and make your stove. Make a multi-use stove. You can use paper, wood, cardboard, whatever. Get some soup cans and make your own. There's 100,000 videos out there. I've made several. Everything from coffee can size down to a regular soup can.
Yeah,
just make your own.
And you
do it now. With power.
And with all the number 10 cans out there from restaurants and stuff, they probably wouldn't mind if you pulled a couple out of their dumpster and used some of those. All right. If you have a generator, there's a way to you can get around being without gas and electric. It doesn't have to be a big one. Come on, there's the button. There we go. It can be just a little one for what I'm talking about here. This little 2200 watt inverter generator easily powers an induction hot plate. And it's not really a hot plate because you can put your hand right on top of it and there's no heat. It's a magnetic induction, so you can't use aluminum cookware on it unless it has the metal disc, the steel disc on the bottom to work for induction. But what does work really great on these, well, first of all, these are great because I got 2 of these. You can set your exact temperature, and you can set whether you're doing it at 100% power to give you that, or 50% or 40%. You can set your percentage of power. It's a 1500 watt maximum, and you got all sorts. You can set it so just keep warm, or you set to boil. They have all sorts of neat things on them you can do with them. But for cooking with one of these, what works really great is one of the enamel covered cast iron Dutch ovens, or enamel covered cast iron cookware. You can use. What was that?
I said I have an enamel cast iron teapot.
There you go. And you can use the regular ones, but cast iron, I found itself, has a tendency to scratch a little bit. That's why I prefer the enamel coated. But hey, good a cast iron pot like this, Dutch oven pot, works great. What did I do? Look, I hit the wrong button there. Sorry. There we go. But this one here does not work too good because of the legs.
Unless you fit over the edge.
But you got to have one of the real big ones to fit over the edge. You got to have like a 16-inch one, but of course, then all your heating then is just the middle too.
Yeah,
so,
it's cast iron. It will heat all the way around.
Yeah, it'll heat it all the way up. Okay, now Brett, I just looked back here. Brett was saying that Honda generator I showed is the one they carry on their fire trucks. So hey, there's a recommendation right there.
I used to have one. It got stolen.
All right. And okay, and let's see here.
Okay.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, Jay. Now, what's great about the enamel coated cast iron, you can use them in the oven, you can use them on the gas stove, the electric burners, you can use them on anything.
Coals.
And
wood coal.
Wood coals, yeah. They're great. So if you see them on sale at Costco, Sam's Club, Winco, wherever you see, if you happen to see them on sale somewhere, hey, it might be worth it to pick up 1 or 2. I know my wife, we picked up there was one that is a 2 different size set that came together, and we got one of those. Now,
lid for mine.
Yeah. Now, if you've if you've been on electricity and you're tired of what the hurricanes have been doing, you've gone to propane, you got the big old tank outside the house, and you have a propane stove. If your propane tank outside something happens to it, you can still use your indoor stove. There are plenty of videos out there on how to do this, running it off of one of the small 5 or 7 gallon propane bottles. But the one thing you got to make sure you have to have a pressure regulator. Now, I took my mom's old stove after she passed away, and I set it up for an outdoor cook stove for us to run on propane. I found some videos talking me through it. I found some newsletters that were posted on how to adjust the propane jets, the natural gas jets, to tighten them down so to work with propane, because propane burns hotter than natural gas. And so I was able to do it. It works great. But I had to buy a regulator, a gas regulator, to go on the back, so I wasn't blowing too much pressure out of that propane tank into it. All right. Martha says, my home gas stove runs off a 90-gallon tank. Yeah. So you see, it works great. And if you do a pre-setup where you can, like a travel trailer, how they have for the alternating valves in it, inline valves, where you can switch from one to the other really quick, so much better. Yeah, and Brett says, yeah, propane is also higher pressure too. So, like if you have a propane tank, you just need to have a propane stove. Rather, you need to have a regulator for either on the back of the stove or on your 5 or 10-gallon bottles to provide the backup to it. Of course, if you got yourself an RV, travel trailer, fifth wheel, whatever you want to call it, Winnebago, you're good to go, because just about all of these have a propane stove inside.
Hey, there's a maid.
I was waiting for that one. Yeah. So if you have a trailer, a travel trailer, RV, whatever, you've got your backup right there. Just think camping. All right.
Gil, you have a question from Drops.
Drops. Won't that hose with the regulator used for Mr. Heaters work? I'm not sure they should.
I don't think the regulator set at the proper pressure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You'd have to check that out. You'd have to do a little research on that. Yeah, because on mine, I went and bought one that said it was for converting. I bought it on Amazon years ago. That was for converting a natural gas stove to run on propane. And so I just got it wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $19 at the time. Okay, Brett, actually, to change from natural gas to propane, all I had to do, at least on the stove I just had to tighten down the orifices, so it just crimped them down a little bit tighter. Now, to go the other way from propane to natural gas, I would have to replace the orifices with a proper sized orifice. But you can you put a little, a 9/16 wrench on there and just tighten it down. It'll tighten it up. Really, and it was easy to do the burners on the stovetop, because I was able to ignite them, get them going. You had a big old flame, and I just tightened it down till the flame got to where it was supposed to. Doing the oven, I had to tighten it down, light it up. Nope, tighten it down a little bit more, light it up until I got it right. Does that? Jay, that's an option.
Yeah, she's a $254,000 option.
Exactly.
With a ring. Anyway.
Exactly, Uncle Al, with a ring.
Also, we're DIY van kitchens.
Yeah. So I've seen several of guys out there that are putting out videos about their stealth van campers, when they take a van and turn it into a stealth camper. And that's kind of like this is you get these rollout stuff, and you can build your own stealth camper with a kitchen unit in it. Just, hey, if you have one set up to run on propane out there, that can also be a backup. Of course, if it's raining and storming, this would be a little tough to do, but
you have a tarp going over the back of your vehicle.
Yeah.
Those easy up canopies.
Yeah. Or in the garage. So there's that type there. Fuel. Now we're just going to cover some fuel here for a little bit here. Okay, so you can get propane in the little 1 pound bottles. Your Coleman fuel, you can get your white gas. You can get premium blended fuels. There are several different, besides Coleman, several different manufacturers of white gas and blended fuels for white gas stoves. You can get them in quarts, gallons, 5-gallon containers. And so, like, hey, this is $13 for a gallon. A gallon lasts a long time, really, in a white gas stove. Propane, back to propane again. I got them out of order, guys. I'm sorry. All these are portable bottles or tanks, if you prefer.
Some just more portable than others.
Yes. Yeah. Some of the smaller ones here are very portable. And then you have like this one right here is your, actually this looks like your 5-gallon. This looks like your 7-gallon, 10-gallon, and you go on up. The gray ones here are industrial use.
Mm-hmm. They're the ones you usually see in the back of forklifts.
Exactly. They can take a beating a little bit more because, hey, it's a heavier duty tank. Yes, and there's the thing I forgot to mention. Thank you, Brett. You can get fittings to refill those bottles. Now, technically, once you refilled one of those little bottles, you're not allowed to transport it across state lines because then it's no longer factory whatever done. Because you've refilled it.
Right. Folks, if you refill the green bottles, you avoid the factory warranty and any insurance will not cover it.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing on the green bottles, once you fill it up, put it in a pan of water deep enough to cover the whole bottle. If it starts bubbling, you can't use it. You have a bomb on your hand.
Yeah, you need to set it out there and just let it vent off till it's gas off.
Because the old bottles have the rubber seal, the new bottles have the silicone seal. So you have to be carefully know which one is which.
Yeah. All right. Next one here. Was that it? Okay. And then for your small ones, like the little stove that Uncle Al showed, you got all sorts of different. There is the isobutane, isobutane, propane mix, isopropane. There's got a bunch of different types you can get out there. And some burn hotter than others. Some are made for higher altitudes. So, yeah, there are a bunch of options out here for gas. And they don't have to be these little short ones. Actually, I have a couple jet boil ones here, this size, to go in for the jet boil thing. But then I have a couple cans that are 4 times as tall as that. They're big old monster cans for jet boil. So that's some of your options there. So, and also don't forget proper cookware for whatever type of oil you're going to be cooking on. Make sure you're using the proper cookware.
Cast iron. Cast
iron is good on anything. Coal, a fire pit in the backyard, electric range, induction, gas, propane. Now, some people like their I got my Gotham steel copper cookware. Well, Gotham steel. Hey, steel. I think wherever I've been finding is most of their stuff works on induction already, so you're good to go on induction as well. No, I would not cook in plasticware. Unless it's for a microwave and you're able to power your microwave off that Honda generator.
Right. Or if you have a chemical cooker, which some Asian countries used during the Chinese Olympics, you put your food in it, pull the string, and what happens is you have a chemical reaction. So I'll let Gil finish up and we'll go into the weird stuff that I'll cover that.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I want to bring it up here if I can. Let me go and then drop that out. And come on, what happened to it? I know I had it here. There it is. No, it disappeared on me. Dang it. Shoot.
Gremlins?
No. I got to open something up again. I had it opened up here. I don't know what happened. Why it disappeared. We were looking at OVEN. There we go. Boom. And images. Okay, throw it back up here. There we go. Sun ovens. And
you can make your own.
You can make your own. There are, this is the professional sun oven, which is the #1 manufacturer of them. There are several other ones that are coming out making stuff. But then there is, come on, get over there. We go. DIY yourself. And you can make all sorts of ones, wooden ones, cardboard boxes, foil. There's, a whole bunch of different ways of making your own sun oven. Now, if you're in a situation where it's because of winter storm, I don't think the sun oven's going to work too good.
No, and let me show you the books. Okay.
All right. Now let me make them big. There we go.
Okay, Cooking with the Sun, because at UOP in Stockton did a whole class on this, and this is the book from there, and this is one of the homemade sun ovens. And I can't. They had a whole chicken in there. See.
Yep.
All right, and then Cooking with Flame. This is a backyard version of it on a wheelbarrow. Trust me, it's kind of wild. And then you can shrink me down. You could have also a truck tire inner tube, and you put a glass plate on it. If you live like where I live, where it's 112 in the summer.
Okay. Martha has some comments here. Yeah. Now, unless you really design it and just spend the money, you might as well go and buy sun oven. But you make big ones, and really, you put the money into it. You can make it, but if you're just making the cardboard versions and stuff, they're not going to be as good.
No.
And she says sun oven will work if it's sunny. It doesn't have to be warm, just sunny. But if it's totally overcast and raining, then that would be a no on that. Hey, Kraken's there. Hey. All right. So one of the other things that we were talking about, and Uncle Al was going to, had the fuel for it there. Show it. Is the Sterno stove. And we talked about this a while back. There's the Sterno stove and the can of Sterno.
It's for cooking.
And
drinking.
Huh?
Cooking, not drinking.
Yeah, cooking, not drinking Sterno. Although you could cook with the other Sterno in the alcohol stove.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there are a bunch of different variants, and they come up with new models and stuff on them. Sterno is also now making a butane stove. That's what these funky ones here are. But there's a lot of,
They also have a marshmallow.
That's what Uncle Al was showing, was this one right here that I made a little bit larger there. And there's, all sorts of cool things.
I had one of those back in the early 80s. I wish I still had it.
Yeah.
And also, folks, they have a Sterno stove like this that you make. The Scouts make a graham crackers and a marshmallow and a chocolate bar, and you put it over this. And what it does is, in the middle of your living room, if you want a s'more, voila, instant s'more cooker.
Yeah.
My nephews have that one at their house because they're making s'mores right now.
Yeah.
Kalen, if you get a chance to go to like a Dollar General, where everything's $1, they usually have Sterno cans. Those are the cheaper ones. They usually have Sterno cans in there for $1 a piece.
Oh, yeah. And if you want, go ahead. Yeah.
And if you keep an eye on the sales at Costco, Sam's Club, even Walmart, the flats that has 12 cans in it will suddenly be on sale, and it's like, whoa, that's almost half price. And I got several flats out in the
right. I just picked up a flat. Go ahead. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead. Okay, I picked up a couple of flats myself at Big Lots because it's end of the New Year's season, and a lot of companies don't have buffet trays, so they push off all their sterno cans in the 12 pack, like Gil says. Guess how much I spend at Big Lots for 2 flats?
$5.
Yeah, $4.95, but it's closed. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Dave's Mule Train Homestead is in the house now.
Hey, Dave.
So one of the things that is interesting that I did back when I was a late teenager, early 20s with my dad, we pulled out the gas. We had to replace the gas hot water heater in my grandmother's house after 20 some odd years. And, we'd like to play around with stuff. My dad was a blacksmith and machinist and stuff. And I'm a tinkerer. And so what we did, we stripped it all down. We were doing it for different things with it. And I pulled the burner out of the stove. And the burner was a round circle with the thing coming off the side of it with the propane or the natural gas hooked up onto it. Well, I converted it to run on propane. I made myself, this was back in 76, 77, made like a turkey fryer before there were turkey fryers. And we had made it for an outdoor cooker we had a 10-gallon aluminum pot. And so we made that for cooking up the blackberry jam and stuff. So yeah, you there's a lot of stuff you can make of the stuff on your own. Do it beforehand, not during the disaster. So you can test it out, get it working right. So when something happens, you're good to go.
Yeah, Martha says, Southern prepping. I can't see it. Southern machismo prepping or Southern.
No, that's me. Southern Ohio.
Yeah.
And yes.
Oh yeah.
That's Dave right there.
I've done it while driving truck from one state to another. I've done it sitting in fields because I've been there for 16 to 18 hours.
That's why we were a couple minutes late starting up. We were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dave was going over talking all about his stuff. Uncle I was talking about cooking it in a compost pile.
Yep. If you enlarge me, I'll show you guys on the weird stuff on cooking.
Okay, here we go. Large.
Okay. Gil just talked about solar ovens. The old Mormon way was cooking in a straw box. That's a plywood or wooden box filled with straw. And then you have either a pressure cooker, which is modern, or you could have a cast iron Dutch oven that's heated up. You put a couple of hot rocks on top of it, and you fill it up with straw, and you close the box, and that cooks your meal for the day. Another one.
That's a slow cooker.
Right. And that original slow cooker without the electrics. Me and Wayne, that's ungrateful peasant, we cook in thermoses. You can cook food in thermoses. I have a big one that I could do lentils, rice. I did spaghetti one time too. Macaroni.
Speaking of ungrateful peasant, he's driving on the road listening.
Okay. Hi, Wayne. And then we got the French word social vita. That's hot water cooking. You take your vacuum bag, you seal up your food, and you put it inside a hot water tank. It could be solar, it could be electric, it could be gas. There's different ways to do this part. They even have a pressurized one. I don't recommend that to most people because it might blow up. But in the bags, the food is cooked. And then we go to our next one. If you want to char it a little bit, because if you cook it this way, it's kind of doesn't look like it's cooked. It's kind of pinkish. But they have a channel that does this all the time, that vacuum packs the food with the sauces and flavoring. And then 3 hours later, after hot water cooking, they hit it with a blowtorch to give that crispy taste. And yes, they have solar thermoses too now. And then my favorite is cooking in a compost pile. I don't recommend it to people because you cannot control the temperature, and you don't want to see me explaining the story about almost burning down our volunteer fire truck, which was a disaster. And my dad never forgave me about that. Electrocution. They do it in the old days in the 70s. I think Gil and Dave remember. They used to have a hot dog cooker that you stuck in 2 electrodes in it, and you run it with a rheostat, and you cook the hot dog. When I was younger, I tried it with a chicken with a 241 with a rheostat, but it kind of blew up. And my family still looks at me like I'm nuts.
Hey, all right, a couple things here. Dave has something to throw up here, so I'm going to add it to the stream.
There you go.
There's your solar kettle cooker.
Yep. Thermos bottle size.
Cool.
I've got one left. Very fragile.
Yeah.
Though.
Ships from Utah. I bet that's out of south of the mountain. Begins with Provo.
Yep, Provo, Utah.
Yeah, that's down at Provo there. Now, one of the other things here, guys, it also helps if you have Pennsylvania Prepper has her freeze dryer, and if you have freeze dryer or something like that, or dehydrator, where you can do stuff, you pre-prep certain meals to get stuff ready, so all you need is hot water.
Yep.
One of the things that I've done, just to make it easier for me, I took the last time I was in California back there, I set up my big, huge Cajun Classic skillet, 3-inch deep, 24-inch skillet, and I cooked up 6 pounds of hamburger, seasoned it, and then I put it in a quart Ziploc bag, froze it up, and then I use some great stuff. Like if I want to make a quesadilla with this is taco season flavored, and then I just open up, sprinkle the ground beef on the quesadilla with the cheese and stuff. Now I got a beef taco flavored quesadilla. And on my video that I did on doing the Southwest Survival Mix, that big old that skillet again full of the Southwest Survival Mix, we went and took it and put it in the seal meal. And so all I need to do is just drop this in a thing of boiling water, and in about 5 minutes, it's ready to eat. And I can eat it a whole different ways with chips and a burrito, on top of tortilla chips and a bowl, whatever. Yeah. So if you keep,
Shush. I'm getting hungry.
So if you think ahead of time, a lot of the stuff here, think ahead of time. Plan out, hey, this is what's going to happen. Get meals prepped. Get whatever way you're going to cook. Get it done. Practice it. Hey, we're only, 14, 15 days into winter, guys. And we still got another 2.5 months of winter. And here in southeastern Idaho, the snow we've gotten here has been extremely wet. There's parts of the driveway, or even when I put down new rock this fall, it's the snow's come down. It's just so wet. It's watery. I got areas out there next to the driveway that are turning into an ice skating rink. Yells hopping Hilltop Farm. Hey, welcome. And so I have a feeling it's going to be a wet winter this year.
Oh yeah. Now, folks, if you have a pressure cooker, stainless steel one, not a canner, a cooker, you could use that too. Whatever heat source you got, you could use that. Save your cooking time. Pressurize it. You can insulate it in a straw box, or you do like I do, a bunch of pillows, wrap it around it, and wait a couple hours, and your food is done.
Gil,
yeah. Yes.
That link in the private chat is from what Brett at Broussard's just said something about.
Okay. Oh, Lehman's. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let me go ahead and highlight that. And I will come back up here, throw it in here. So there's the link for Lehman's, and I'll go over here and bring it up here. Yeah, and I'll put it up here on the side chat thing here. Come on, let's go.
Hey, Howie.
Hey, Howie.
Hey, Howie. Okay, I don't need to add on there. Okay, Lehman's has some great stuff, guys. I wish there was one out here. I've looked at their website. Some stuff I'd like to get there. They got all sorts of cool stuff.
Well, see,
Cast-
hey, Gil, I can do you a real solid favor here. You can go ahead and buy it, have it shipped here, and I'll hold it for you.
and make sure it's well usable, right?
I'll test it to make sure it works properly.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, cast iron stovetop cast iron waffle maker. Yeah, they got a chainmail scrubber for cast iron. They got a lot of great stuff. It's a great place. All right, I said I really wish there was one closer here. And look at all those wood stoves. Look at all those wood stoves. Oh man. Okay, back over here. All right. One other thing here. Who else is in here? Anything else?
I think you covered everybody. You got Tim.
Over there.
You got Howie. You got.
Okay. So one of the things, whatever, all the stuff we're talking about, these are just ideas. I like the jet boils. I got several jet boils. I got the generic versions too. I've got 2, 3 burner white gas stoves, several of each. I've got propane ones, several of each. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying I like testing stuff out and see what works, and it's all been well used. So that's the thing is, whatever you want thinking of use for your backup for emergencies, if you lose your propane, you lose your natural gas, the electric, whatever, practice. And that's something here's a challenge for everybody out there. This is a challenge. Sometime this month, cook all your meals on camp gear. Don't use the stove.
No. Better idea. You keep talking. I'll get a link for you to throw up here in a second.
Yeah. So,
or do like Dave, cook on a car motor. Where is that? Right here. Or like Uncle Alan with hot stones.
Yeah.
That's getting real primitive, folks.
Just in case, so you're ready. If the power goes out, the gas goes out, whatever, and you got to cook a different way, that you're ready to go. Now, one of the things here that I mentioned earlier, at the very beginning, when I was talking about earthquakes. This is the USGS earthquakes last 7 days map, and you can set how you want to. This is all earthquakes 2.5 or greater. I can just put all, and it'd be 3 times as many quakes. But let's see, California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. Right now, the western half of the two-thirds of the United States is having more. But if I went down to lower, let's see if I can do that here. All. There we go. Boom. Last 7 days, even up here in Canada back here. So yeah, there's, this is just the last 7 days. So it can go, if you go back, you do different. I don't know if you can go, you can go last 30 days. I'm not going to do that because my computer doesn't like it. It takes a lot of memory running it.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I put a link in private.
Yeah, I got it. I see it there. Pull that up here.
This is y'all's homework for the week.
Okay. So, this is USGS all earthquakes last week. And this is Dave's link, and I'm going to throw it down here into the chat as well. All right. Oh, build yourself a hobo rocket stove.
Do it now while you still got power tools.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about this, Dave, is trying to use that indoors.
Oh, there's a modified way.
In the garage, you can open up the garage door and you don't have to worry about it. The smoke and stuff so bad.
Right. But also you could use this lady.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah. This lady has a version of what Dave's talking about, and I can't remember where it's at, but you go check out this. It's called Roughing It Easy. Every Boy Scout should know this. And that's it, Gil. You can switch back to smaller.
Hey, WD.
Hi, WD.
Hey, WD, Glock and roll. Hey. And so you got
There is 100 different ways to make a cooking stove out of soup cans and toilet paper, or just soup cans, or soup cans and sand.
Yeah.
Go out and make one.
Yeah. Now, one of the things we talked about earlier, I just
my Discord.
One of the Dave's Discord channel has tons, hundreds, thousands of PDFs and stuff free to look at. All right.
Yeah, there's like 7,000 total.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're able to have, like Dave showed in, was it last Friday? We did the, or was it last Tuesday? We did the heating, the heat one last Tuesday. So last week, he showed the picture of his camp stove, his wood burning stove for going in a tent. If you have a small wood burning stove like that, or even have a regular wood burning stove, but most of your wood is wet, but you do have some dry wood, get the driest wood ready to build a fire. Take the next driest wood, stack it on and around the stove, get your fire going so it'll dry out that wood so you can keep feeding the fire, dry out more wood. Of course, then there is an added bonus to that. If you're in sub-zero weather, like up in here where we are sub-freezing weather, it helps humidify the home as you dry it out.
And everybody knows this is the one that Dave's talking about.
Hang on. Yeah, using coffee cans and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, number 10 cans.
Yeah.
And this is from this book. It covers every kind of weird cooking stove you could think of. There's quite a few that runs on kerosene too.
Yeah. Yeah. So number 10 can, that's like this one right here. A number 10 can with a soup can on the side for a little rocket stove.
Yep.
And this one here, they actually just took a pot, one of those cheap pots from Harbor Freight. You get a 4-pack for like $19, different sizes. And they cut the hole in the side to feed it and turn that into a stove.
Mm-hmm.
So,
of course, I got this one at my feet that weighs like 6 million pounds and is a jigsaw puzzle for even the best IT techs. But yeah.
Yeah. And so, there's a lot of good videos out here. Some videos have a lot of good information, step by step. This is the way you do it. These are the ubu goos that I did and stuff like that. So
like the one you were just hovering over where the guy had filled with sand.
I thought it was
that was this one here. Yeah. Or what's that? The stuff begins with B. No, V. Vermiculite. Yep. They'll put that around it too as the insulation. Yeah.
Sand works just as good.
Yeah.
So does cat litter.
Yeah. But the vermiculite is the lightest of all if you want to make it portable. All right. Howie's likes that book, The Portable Baker.
I put a link to the Discord in private.
Okay, so here's the Discord link coming at you guys right now. There you go. That's Dave's Discord. And it is,
it's free.
Hang on a second here. Let's see if this works up. It doesn't recognize me. There we go. Is that right? Is that what I'm in there under? Okay, it's trying.
Discord's been a little flaky the last couple of days. It's been slow.
Yeah. Okay. So how did I do that? I'm trying to remember what my name was before. Let's try already. Oh.
See, this just
it's gonna be hard. Anyways.
You need to be on Discord more than once every 8 months.
Yeah. And you get back in there. I'll log back in. Anyway, I was going to show it over here on the side, but right now it says two people are online in Discord, and there are 62 members in Discord right now. So, we're hitting the time limit here, guys. So let me grab over the other computer here real quick. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And I'm going to bring up the list here. Okay, so Friday we're going to be talking about supplies. How much is enough, and how do you balance what you have? And then
I can't pick it all up, so I can't balance it.
Yeah. Next Tuesday, we're going to be continuing the topic here of winter storms, talking about other supplies and stuff you need for winter storms. And some of the stuff we're going to be talking about is probably not what you thought you would need, or hadn't thought of. Hey, wow, I really do need to get that. So that's what's coming up next Tuesday, and then we'll be going on to talking about EMP, clothing supplies, natural disasters, specialty grid, knives, and all. That's what's coming up for the rest of the month and into February. So that's what we got so far here. So guys, everyone out there, please stay safe, keep your eyes open, and above all, stay happy. All right?
Stay out of Democratic controlled states.
That too. All righty, everyone. Take care. See you around.